Hola! Today is going to be probably pretty fast. Tomorrow I will be opening a package. I got a package in the mail. Um, I'll do that tomorrow because it's over there at the desk. I'm sitting in my bed. It's about 8 o'clock at night. I wasn't going to vlog, and I'm like, I'll just vlog real fast. Why not? Uh, Today's Saturday. The something of September. I don't know off the top of my head. This morning I got up when it was still cool, and I was gonna go to the farmer's market, so I got ready. And I put my little crocheted bag on there, and well, I thought it was in the garage, and I'm like, I don't know where the crocheted bag is. I thought it was, so I go back to the kitchen door and I say, Dad, where'd you put my crocheted bag? So it was in the kitchen, so he handed it to me. Well, then Heidi comes running, like, you're not leaving without me. So Dad takes her out to pee and then hands her to me, and she gets in the scooter, and me and her take off out in the wild blue yonder. Beautiful, sunny, nice, lovely. It wasn't too hot yet. It was like 75 maybe. Going through the woods was nice and cool. We get to town. I bought some cherry tomatoes. They were actually called sweetheart tomatoes. They're almost like the size of a grape tomato, but very, very sweet. I was going to buy peaches, but they had sold out. He's like, they didn't have as many today because the season's winding down, and he sold out really fast this morning. I'm like, dang it. So I'll try again next week. He said they should have some more next week, but he doesn't know how many. So I might have to go earlier. So I stopped by this booth that does stuff for dogs, and I got Heidi. I got her a bow to put on her collar, but it's kind of big. And they had smaller bows, but they were for barrettes. And I said, could you make me a smaller bow with the elastic that I could put on her collar? And I had asked this a couple weeks ago. And I meant to go get it last week, but it rained, so I couldn't go to the farmer's market. So she had made 3 or 4 different smaller ones, and I picked out one. But I said, can you sew the elastic just a little bit smaller, because it's still a little bit big, the elastic part. I want a little bit snugger so it won't like move around on her collar. So they live right across the street from the farmer's market, so the older lady of the two grabbed it and was going to go home and sew it and bring it back. She said she'd be back about 10 or 15 minutes. And I paid for it, and I went down to the end, looked at things. Someone had some real, I'd never seen this booth before, really beautiful, like, furniture made out of, like, planks of wood that they've polished down, but it still had, like, the bark finish on they were pretty. I should have took some video. And there was a guy had a long-haired dachshund at the end, walking him in the grass, and I'm like, I have to come see your dachshund. And he's like, and his name was Stuart, the dachshund, and he was up wanting me to pet him, and then he noticed Heidi Ho, then he wanted to sniff her, and he was 7, and he had hurt his back a couple years ago, I guess. He had chased one of their cats, and the cat went up the tree, and Stuart didn't stop, and he tried to go up a tree, and then he fell back on his back, and he just screamed, the owner said, and they took him to the vet, and he was paralyzed for a while, and he had to go on steroids, anti-inflammatories, and pain meds, and it took him about 2 months to get back to normal, but he said, yeah, it's scary. I said, yeah, Heidi Ho just tweaked hers just a little bit not long ago. My dad had a heart attack. So I talked to them for a little bit, and he had a dachshund that lived to be 19. And I'm like, I hope Heidi Ho lives that long. Stuart was so beautiful. He was a dapple, with like this light brown cream colored coat with a little dark speck. Oh, he was so pretty. So Heidi and I turn around and go back up the road to check the stuff on the other side. I looked at where the bakery is, but they were selling hot and heavy. They didn't have a whole lot left. And I turned back to go head back to the pet place, and I'm sitting there talking to the younger girl, and a storm is blowing in out of nowhere. I mean, blackness was descending the town, and I told her, I said, I will come pick that up but I have to go home and I have to get on the road now. I did not have my umbrella. I had to roll. And she said, we won't be here next week, but we'll be here the week after. I said, that's fine, but I gotta roll. So me and Heidi take off, go across the main road and go behind all the buildings, get on the trail. I mean, and it's starting to thunder, which Heidi, no bueno. She's starting to shiver a little bit, like, what's happening? It's so dark and it's so windy, and I'm like, rain, hold off, rain. Come on, rain, just hold off. So, and usually when I'm tootling along, it's like, oh yeah, but when you want to get somewhere quickly, it feels like you're not moving. So we get out of the woods, we start going up the hill back in my neighborhood, and turn the hill, turn on top of the hill and come down the side road that comes up next to our house over here, and I feel a drop. I'm like, okay, we're almost home. We're going to get home. We're going to get home in time. And we turn the corner, and we're in front of the neighbor's house. Drop, drop, drop. And I'm like, okay, we're going to make it. So we turn, and we get in the driveway, and we get in the garage. We got a few drops on us, but we were okay. So I'm sitting there, and my phone rings in my pocket, and I'm like, hello? Dad's like, you better be heading home, because it looks like a storm coming. I'm like, we just pulled in the garage. So he come out, got Heidi, and I grabbed my tomatoes, and before we could get in the house, it just let loose, and it lightning and thundered really loud, and Heidi was ready to get in. And we shut the garage door, and then it was on. It was like, it was ugly out. I'm like, man, that came out of nowhere. It was, I was like, please don't rain until I get home. Just hold off. I think in the bottom of my crochet bag, I do have a white plastic trash bag that if it came to it, I could have at least put that over my controls of my scooter so water couldn't get into the electronics, and I could have gotten wet and Heidi could have got wet. But we made it. And then Dad left to go take his sister to do some errands, so I watched some television. I watched Switched at Birth and Chasing Life. I got caught up on those. And then he came home and left again and went to the campground to see DeLucci for a while. And then he got back about 7 because Notre Dame football home opener tonight. So he's like, I'm going to take your scooter and go down to Bill's, 2 houses down. And he's down there watching football. So the Humper's not been home a lot today. He's been out in the world. But it was fun this morning. Exhilarating, to say the least. I'm like, we just gotta go. Come on, scooter. I wish you had a turbo boost. It was funny. Poor Heidi Ho. She was not impressed. She was not in the mood to be pet today by anybody. People like, can we pet her? I'm like, she was nervous. I think she knew a storm was coming before I did, because she was very nervous around people today. Usually she'll give them a chance, but today, no. She was like, nah, nobody touch me. And sometimes the animals know when storms are coming, so she might have just was tense from that. So that was my adventure today. So I've talked for 8 minutes when I said it was going to be short. I'm a liar. I will admit it. But now I'm going to roll out. I'm going to have me a piece of dried mango covered in dark chocolate. I'll show that in a video tomorrow, the bag I got at Costco. So good. Alright. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend. What are you doing? You know, nosy. What, is the kitty up here? No, she's not. I was going to see if she's around, but she's not. Kitty! Kitty, kitty! She was in here a minute ago. Let's look this way. There's my window in the backyard. She's not listening to me. Okay, bye.